Hello da Tangam, welcome to Gully Classroom. This is a special edition of Gully Dozen. Sir, what is Gully Dozen? Gully Dozen is a lecture where I am going to teach you 12 important MCQs in the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. CBSE 10th Standard Chemistry, Science Book Chapter 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. In this particular chapter, we are going to go through 12 MCQs. We will learn these multiple choice questions in such a way that the entire unit will be revised. How are you supposed to attend these MCQs in an ideal manner? Look at the description. I have given all the 12 MCQs. You can just pause the video right now. Let me repeat. You can just pause the video right now. Then try all the 12 questions given in the description. Then you can get back to the video, check out all the answers and the explanations, and then you can check how many answers you have got right. Have you completed trying all these particular questions from the description? Yeah? Can I go for the answers? Okay, Kana. Let us go for the answers. What is the first question? The first question is a passage question. Let me read the passage. Okay. Suhana wanted her house to be whitewashed. She brought 10 kilogram of quicklime from the market and dissolved it in 30 liters of water. On adding lime to water, she observed the water started boiling even when it was not being heated. Okay, so what is happening right now? Suhana is buying quicklime. What is quicklime? Quicklime is calcium oxide. What is quicklime? Quicklime is calcium oxide. She is mixing it with water. Okay, quicklime is mixed with water. What are you getting? You will be getting calcium hydroxide. Which is also called as slaked lime. But the reaction will not stop here. This is an exothermic reaction, so you will be getting a lot of heat energy. Plus heat energy. This is an exothermic reaction, so you will be getting a lot of heat energy. Okay, sir. So this is the reaction that is happening when Suhana is mixing calcium oxide or quicklime. What is calcium oxide also called as quicklime? With water, you are getting CaOH twice and there is a release of heat energy. Let us go for the first question. Dash is formed when quicklime is added to water. Calcium hydroxide, slaked lime is formed. Okay, so the first answer is option C. The first is option C. What about the question 2, sir? For question 2, write the reaction involved. I have written the reaction over here. CaO plus water, CaOH twice. Do you want me to balance the equation? Let us check. Ca. There is one Ca on both the reactant and the product. Here there is 2H2. Here also there is 2H2. Here there is 2O2. Here also there is 2O2. The reaction is self-balanced. Okay, sir. Let me write all the states here. CaO will be solid. H2O obviously will be a liquid. This will be in aqueous state because of the presence of water. Okay. Let us go for the third question. The nature of the product formed is. The third question. They are asking for the nature of the product formed. They are asking whether CaOH twice, the product formed, is acidic or basic. Let us check this product CaOH twice. We have already learnt in acids, bases and salts one particular point. What particular point, sir? All metallic oxides are basic in nature or non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. How are you supposed to remember this? Look here. Here there is a M. In B also there is a hidden M. Slightly tilted obviously, but anyway. So you can remember it as metallic oxides are basic in nature. Okay, sir. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. How are you supposed to remember this? Okay. Let me write a like this. Non-metallic oxides. Here let me add a line. What is happening? Am I getting a N here to A? Let me add a N. Let me add a line. Here I am getting a N. So non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Are you able to understand how I am remembering? Metallic oxides are always basic in nature, non-metallic oxides are always acidic in nature. If you want even deeper explanation, look here. What is calcium? Atomic number of calcium is 20. Okay, mass number is 40. Electronic configuration is 2, 8, 8, 2. Calcium loses these 2 electrons in order to gain what configuration? Argon configuration. Am I getting this right? Yes. Calcium loses 2 electrons in order to gain argon configuration, which is 2, 8, 8, which means calcium is losing electrons to gain a noble gas configuration. When a substance loses electrons to gain noble gas configuration, it is usually a metal. Let me repeat something. When a substance loses electrons to gain noble gas configuration, it is a metal. When a substance gains electrons, a metal loses electrons to get noble gas configuration. A non-metal gains electrons. A non-metal gains electrons in order to get noble gas configuration. Here calcium is losing electrons, so this is a metal. Here there is oxygen, so this can be considered as a metallic oxide. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. So for the third question, the answer is the nature of the product formed calcium hydroxide is basic in nature. Are you able to understand how I am analyzing this problem? Okay sir, okay sir. What about the fourth question? The fourth question is, which of the following statements is correct about the above reaction based on your observations? It is an endothermic reaction. What is endothermic reaction? Look here. I am bringing my 2 hands together to form a N. I am bringing my 2 hands together to form a N. Right? So, I am bringing heat together to form a N. So, heat absorbed in an endothermic reaction. In an endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. Okay sir, what about an exothermic reaction? In an exothermic reaction, I am bringing the hands away in order to form a X. I am pulling the hands away. So, in an exothermic reaction, heat is released. In an endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. Here, obviously, heat is being released. So, this is an exothermic reaction. So, the first statement is absolutely false. What about the second statement, sir? It is an exothermic reaction. That is true. What about the third statement, sir? The pH of the resulting solution will be more than 7. Okay, we have already seen that calcium hydroxide is basic in nature. We have already seen that calcium hydroxide is basic in nature. Okay, now because this is basic in nature, let me draw the pH scale. The pH scale extends from 0 to 14, where 7 stands for neutral. Where 7 stands for neutral. 14 stands for extremely basic. 0 stands for extremely acidic. Okay, sir. Now, what are they asking? They are asking the pH of CaOH twice, which is a base. So, obviously, it has to be greater than 7. So, the pH of the resulting solution, calcium hydroxide, will be more than 7. The third one is right. What about the fourth one? The fourth one is obviously wrong. Since pH is greater than 7, it cannot be lesser than 7. So, I am leaving off fourth one. The correct statements are second and third. So, B has the correct statements. B, second and third. For fourth, it is B, second and third. Okay, sir. What about the fifth one? Which of the following observations does not help us to determine whether a chemical reaction is taking place or not? Let us be very clear about the question. They are asking for finding which of the following changes are not showing a chemical reaction. Let us check. Evolution of gas. Evolution of gas can show a chemical reaction. How? An acid, when you are adding to a metal, obviously hydrogen gas is released, which can be detected by introducing a burning splinter which burns with a popping sound. So, if there is a evolution of gas, there can be a chemical reaction happening. So, the first one, evolution of gas, can indicate a chemical reaction. Change in temperature. Obviously, in an exothermic reaction, heat is released. In an endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed. So, change in temperature can also indicate a chemical reaction. Let us go for the last one, change in pH. A change in pH means some kind of an acid is converting into some kind of a base, which can also indicate a chemical reaction. Let us go for this option C, change in, let us go for option C, change in state. For change in state, Let us say I am having ice in fridge. I am taking that ice and holding it in my hand. My hand, the heat from my hand is melting that particular ice. Here the ice is changing state, but it does not change the composition of its molecules. H2O remains the same. So change in state does not necessarily indicate the occurring of a chemical reaction. Change in state does not necessarily indicate the occurring of a chemical reaction. So for the fifth question, the option is, the option is C. Option is C. Yeah, because the fourth option, change in pH, also indicates that a chemical reaction is happening. Okay, sir. Let us go for the sixth question. What is the sixth question talking about? It is in fact a passage question. Let me first read the passage. The physical state of the reactants and products can be represented by using symbols S for solids, L for liquids, G for gases, and AQ for aqueous solution. In fact, what does AQ, aqueous solution, stand for? The word AQ, aqueous solution, is written if the reactant and the product is present as a solution in water. Okay, what about precipitate? If a precipitate can be represented by using an arrow pointing downwards instead of writing the symbol S. Instead of writing the symbol S for a precipitate, I can simply use an arrow. Okay, what next? In the same way, gaseous state of an evolved gas can be represented by using an arrow pointing in the upward direction. Okay, so the gaseous state can be represented by indicating with an arrow pointing in the upward direction. Excellent. What next? Specific conditions of the reaction like temperature, pressure, catalyst are written above or below the reaction, above or below the arrow in the chemical equation. Let us say here there are reactants. The reactants are getting converted into products. This is the arrow in a chemical reaction between the reactants and the products. Here I can write about the catalyst. I cannot just write about the catalyst. I can also write about the temperature, pressure, and other reaction conditions. I can write about the temperature, pressure, and other reaction conditions. Are you comfortable? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, now what is the sixth question? I have already read the passage with respect to the sixth question. Now let us go for our sixth question. Sixth question, what is it talking about? Which of the following represent the correct balanced chemical equation with the state symbols for the given reaction? Okay, they are asking us to write a balanced chemical equation. Magnesium is reacting with dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, so magnesium has to be a solid, right? It is a metal, it is a solid. It reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, sulfuric acid means H2SO4, dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, now what is happening here? Here, magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen. Single displacement reaction is going to take place. Magnesium will come here, fight with hydrogen, take SO4 and go out. You will get MgSO4. You will get MgSO4. H2SO4 will obviously be in an aqueous state because H2SO4 is an acid. H2SO4 is considered as an acid because it is able to furnish H plus ions when dissolved in water. Mg, because it is more reactive than hydrogen, comes over here, fights with hydrogen, displaces hydrogen, takes SO4, forms MgSO4, which is in aqueous state. Yeah, because here H2SO4, sulfuric acid is a dilute sulfuric acid. So water has to be present, hence it is in aqueous state. This water will also be present as a medium of reaction in the product also. What is being displaced? H2 is being displaced. It is sent out as a gas. I can either put a G here or I can also use an arrow here. Okay, now I think I have written a balanced equation. Let me check whether the equation is balanced. Here there is 1 mg, here there is 1 mg. Okay, here there is H2, here there is H2, SO4 and SO4. This particular reaction is balanced. Now, which of these reactions is written like this? Which of these reactions is written like this? Here, the second reaction for the sixth one, The second reaction is written exactly the same. Magnesium is combining with dilute H2SO4 which is aqueous in state to form MgSO4, magnesium sulfate, which is once more aqueous in state and releases hydrogen. Okay sir, okay sir. Let us go for seventh question. Okay, seventh question. To indicate the presence of gaseous reactant or product, what are we using? We can either use G in order to represent a gas, or I can also use an arrow. So what is this option? This option is A. For seventh one it is A. Okay, let us go for our eighth question. For eighth question, complete the missing variable given as X and Y in the following reaction. Okay, first let me write the reaction. What is the reaction? Na, okay, sodium, they are taking sodium in the solid state, okay, plus they are taking water. Obviously water has to be in a liquid state, and you are getting NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So here you are having an X which indicates the state of NaOH. What else? There is a hydrogen here, and here there is a Y. There is a Y. Okay, now you need to, this equation has already been balanced, right? Okay, see, so here there is a 2, here there is a 2, here also there is a 2. This has been given. They are asking for X and Y. Okay, here Na is combining with H2O, which means water is present in the reactant. So water has to be present in the product. So NaOH will have an aqueous state. It will be dissolved in water. So X will indicate aqueous. What about Y? Y is obviously hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas can go up. So Y can either be an arrow or it can be written as G, which represents gas. Let me check the options of the eighth question. In the options of the eighth question, look at the first option. X is indicating aqueous, Y is indicating G or gas. Y is indicating G or gas. Cheers. So this is the right answer, which is my option A. For 8, the right answer is option A. Okay sir, okay sir. Let us go for the ninth question. Which of the following reaction is balanced? In order to analyze which of the following reactions are balanced, let me first rub the board. Look at the first equation. What is reacting with what? NaCl is reacting with water. NaCl is reacting with water. Okay, let me write the exact equation. First equation. The first equation is in 9. 2 NaCl plus 2 H2O will give me 2 NaOH plus 2 Cl2 plus H2. Is this reaction balanced? Let me check. No, this reaction is not balanced. Why sir? Here there is 4 chlorine, but here there is just 2 chlorine. There is a difference in the total number of chlorine atoms. This reaction is not balanced. Okay, let us go for the second equation. The second equation is CaOH twice plus Cl2. Okay, so slaked lime, you are putting it with chlorine. You are getting CaOCl2. What is CaOCl2? CaOCl2 is bleaching powder. Yeah, do you remember? We studied about bleaching powder in the chapter acids, bases and salts. If you want to study about bleaching powder, simply type bleaching powder and Gully classroom. You will get our lecture on bleaching powder. Okay, so CaOH twice plus Cl2 will give me CaOCl twice, which is bleaching powder plus H2O. Okay, sir. Now, is this reaction balanced? Let me check. Here there is 1 Ca, here also there is 1 Ca. Here there is 2O, here also there is 2O, here and here. Here there is 2 hydrogen, here also there is 2 hydrogen, here there is 2 chlorine, here also there is 2 chlorine. This reaction is a self-balanced equation. I am not even adding any stoichiometric coefficients. This is a self-balanced equation. Beautiful, sir. This is a self-balanced equation. Sir, even though I understand this is the right answer, option B is the right answer over here, let me check the other two equations whether they are balanced. Absolutely. NH3, what is NH3 doing? It is dividing into N2 and H2. This is obviously not balanced. Here there is 1 N, here there is 2 N. It is not balanced. What about the last option? C6H12O6, which is in fact the formula for glucose, is combining with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water, which is in fact respiration. So obviously They have not written it, but I should put heat energy over here. Am I right or wrong? This is respiration basically. I should put heat energy over here. They have given the equation itself wrong. Anyway, let us check the balancing of this particular equation. Here there is 6 carbon. Here there is simply 1 carbon. No, this particular equation is not balanced. This particular equation is not balanced. This is balanced. So the answer is option B. Okay, sir. Let us go for the 10th problem. Look at the 10th problem. It is necessary to balance a chemical equation in order to satisfy the law of. Let us take this particular reaction. I am going to analyze this particular reaction. The total number of atoms in the reactant is equal to the total number of atoms in the product. Nothing is actually created. The atoms are rearranged. Ca is literally taking Cl2 along with oxygen in order to form bleaching powder. The atoms are getting rearranged such that we are getting different molecules. So nothing new is being created. What law does this follow? This follows law of conservation of mass. Why, sir? This follows law of conservation of mass, which is the option 4. Which is option 4, or you can simply say option D, law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. What is law of conservation of mass? Law of conservation of mass means whatever the atoms that are present in the reactant will always be present in the product. The total number of atoms in the reactant and the product will always be the same. They are simply rearranged for better chemical stability. That's basically a chemical reaction. The atoms in the reactant are simply rearranged into new molecules in the product. Why, sir? For chemical stability. Anyway, so that is option, the last option, law of conservation of mass. That is the 10th question. Let us go for the 11th question. Which of the following reactions is an endothermic reaction? Okay, let me check one by one with explanation. Burning of coal. Obviously, if you are going to burn coal, you are going to get heat. So it is an exothermic reaction. Let us go for the next one. Decomposition of vegetable matter into compost. When a vegetable matter is getting converted into compost, fermentation is happening. Sir, where have we studied fermentation? We have studied fermentation in the chapter life processes in biology. If you want to understand about fermentation, you can simply type respiration, gully classroom, go to the particular lecture and check out about what? Fermentation. Where have we studied about fermentation? Over there in life processes. Do you remember a diagram like this? In life processes, in respiration, the different pathways taken by pyruvate, which is a 3 carbon molecule, to undergo oxidation. In this, here there will be lack of oxygen. Here there will be no oxygen. Here there will be presence of oxygen. So there will be 3 conditions. The respiration that takes place with no oxygen is called as fermentation. The respiration that takes place with no oxygen produces ethanol along with carbon dioxide is called as fermentation. In fact, you have studied about fermentation in the lower classes. When you are baking cake, you are adding yeast. What is the function of yeast? The yeast digests the sugar in the dough. The cake has dough, which is usually made up of wheat. So the cake has dough which has glucose that is digested by the yeast, and carbon dioxide is given out. This carbon dioxide rises the dough, brings the dough up, makes the dough fluffy and soft, and converts the dough into cake. This process is called as fermentation, and this is a process where heat is released. It is exothermic. You are getting a cake hot out of the oven, so heat is being released. This reaction is exothermic. So decomposition of vegetable matter into compost, which is fermentation, is in fact a process where heat is released, exothermic. It is not the answer. Let us go for the next one. Process of respiration. Process of respiration is happening all over the body, where digested glucose is combining with oxygen and releasing heat. So I can simply leave it because it is an exothermic process. My body is always warm because respiration is happening all over my body. What about the last option? Decomposition of calcium carbonate to form quicklime and carbon dioxide. Let me write this particular reaction over here. Let me use this particular space over here. Option D. Let me write the 11th question. I am writing the chemical equation for the 11th question. What is combining with what? Decomposition of calcium carbonate. CaCO3 is decomposing, which means I am giving it some heat. Delta means I am heating it. Okay, CaCO3, I am giving it some heat to form quicklime. CaO plus CO2, which will be released into the air. This equation is self-balanced. 1 Ca, 3 oxygen. So here there is 3 oxygen, 1 carbon. This equation is self-balanced. So what else? This is, you are giving heat to this particular reaction, which means it is endothermic. For the 11th question, the option is option D. For the 11th question is, the option is option D. Okay, now let us go for the 12th question. What does the 12th question entail? The 12th question is literally about whitewashing. The 12th question is literally about whitewashing. It is an assertion and reasoning question. First, let's understand how to analyze an assertion and reasoning question. An assertion and reasoning question contains two parts. Obviously, the first is going to be your assertion, which says a statement. The second one is an reasoning, which is also a statement. The first thing is, you need to check whether the two statements are true. Okay, sir, what next? Then you need to check whether the second statement is the reason for the first statement. There are two statements. You need to check whether the two statements are true. You need to check whether the two statements are true. Then you need to check that the reasoning for the first statement happening is the second statement. The reasoning for the first statement happening is the second statement. Let us go for this particular 12th question. Assertion. After whitewashing the walls, a shiny white finish on the wall is obtained after 2 to 3 days. Okay, what is happening when you are whitewashing? We already saw about Suhana story. You are going to get some quicklime and you are going to add it with some water. Okay, so this is your QUICK quicklime. You are going to add it with some water. What are you going to get? You are going to get slaked lime, yeah, or calcium hydroxide. Okay, and obviously a lot of heat will be released. A lot of heat will be released. You need to have gloves while doing this particular reaction. What next, sir? You are going to put CaOH twice, slaked lime on the walls. The walls initially will be blue in color. Yeah, then what will happen? CaOH twice, slaked lime will combine with carbon dioxide from the air. It will combine with carbon dioxide from the air, and what will happen? Here it will form CaCO3. What is CaCO3? Calcium carbonate. Okay, and water will be sent out, and water will be sent out into the air. Here calcium carbonate is shiny white in color. Calcium carbonate is shiny white in color. This process where the slaked lime combines with the carbon dioxide and forms calcium carbonate, which is shiny white in color, takes 2 to 3 days. Hence, after whitewashing the walls, a shiny white finish on the walls is obtained. When? After 2 to 3 days. So this is the actual reaction. Now, assertion is right. The first thing is, let us say this is the assertion. I am going to indicate that this is the assertion, this is the reasoning. The assertion is absolutely right. What does a double tick represent? A double tick represents the assertion is absolutely right. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. What about reasoning, sir? Let us study the reasoning. Calcium oxide reacts with carbon dioxide. Okay, they are telling you that calcium oxide is reacting with carbon dioxide to form calcium hydrogen carbonate. What is calcium hydrogen carbonate? Calcium hydrogen carbonate means this has to be the formula, but this particular molecule is absolutely not possible. Why? Here only CaCO3 is possible. How, sir? This is a salt. Divide a salt into two parts to check for the positive and the negative ion. Ca means 2 plus, CO3 means 2 minus. This is balanced. I cannot introduce a hydrogen just because I feel like it. I cannot introduce a hydrogen which is in fact H plus, an electropositive ion, just because I feel like that. So there is no compound called as calcium hydrogen carbonate. So the statement itself is wrong. Here CaO, calcium oxide, is reacting with water to form slaked lime. Slaked lime is reacting with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate, which is shiny white in color, and hence the walls are shiny white. But they are telling that this is reacting with this, which is absolutely absurd. Which is absolutely absurd. So the reasoning is false. Okay, so what is the answer here? The answer is assertion is true. I will write that assertion is true. Okay, sir. The reasoning is absolutely false. The reasoning statement is false. The reasoning statement is false. Yes, are you able to understand how I just got the 12th question? Yeah, that's basically the end of this gully dozen. I am getting used to the name. Okay, so that's the end of this gully dozen. Do comment about what do you think about this particular lecture. Herewith I will add more gully dozens to each and every playlist, to each and every unit, so that you can revise the entire unit through MCQs and you can get awesome marks in MCQs when you are attending your board exam. Yeah, cheers and thank you. Obviously, if you like our lecture, do recommend our channel to your friends, subscribe to us, click our bell icon. Yeah, promote our channel in the social media. Why, sir? Because we are going to have so much fun learning physics, chemistry, biology together. Yeah, do you want to join us? Absolutely. Come on, Kana. Let us have fun learning subjects together. Thank you and cheers.